In today's video, we're going to make 5 pairs of earrings, 5 beaded charm earrings. Yes, we're going to work with charms today, so I'm hoping that the earrings turn out charming. We can hope, right? When it's all said and done, they should only take you about 5 minutes to make something like what I'm going to show you today. However, being true to my style of videos, I often show you a variety of options when it comes to making the earrings. So yeah, I've got 5 pairs of earrings, 5 charm earrings with beads. If you're new to the channel, I'm Vicki. If you're coming back, thank you for that too. As I said in the opening, we're going to make 5 pairs of earrings, 5 charm beaded earrings. And I don't know about you, but when it comes to charm earrings, sometimes charm earrings are nothing more than a charm and an ear wire. Do you think that's what we're going to make today? If you do, you would be wrong. No, we're going to make them a little bit cuter than this. I mean, that owl is cute as can be, but we're going to make them a little bit cuter. Because we're making 5 pair of 5-minute earrings, I wanted to go ahead and pull everything out. We're going to make some sunflower earrings, owls, dragonflies, kitty cats, and butterflies. I think I'm going to start with the sunflower. And in this little dish, I have 2 round beads, and I am going to show you the size of the beads that I'm using. The yellow bead is 7 millimeter. And then I have these little green disc type beads. Well, they won't quite fit through 7, so I guess I'm going to say they're 8 millimeter, just slightly under. And then I have a little sunflower charm that's about 12 millimeter. So 12 millimeter on the sunflower charm. And then I have some little bead caps here. They're between 7 and 8 millimeter. I've got some silver plated ear wires and a couple of eye pins. If you don't know what an eye pin is, this is what it looks like. It has a little loop on the end. If you don't have any eye pins, well, I'll show you how to make them. As far as tools, I have flat nose pliers, my chain nose pliers, my round nose pliers, and I do have some small jump rings. And the jump rings are 5 millimeter jump rings, but you can use slightly smaller. It's stuck in there. You can use slightly smaller or slightly larger. And the eye pins are 1 1/2 inch long. Okay. And you'll find links below the video for my supplies and tools of whatever I can provide. I'm not a bead store, not a bead shop, but I've got some affiliate links for some of my supplies and tools. So let's take a closer look at what we have here. We have 2 sunflower charms. They are one-sided, and these are pewter. We have the 2 yellow beads. We have 4 green beads, green glass beads. I'm not even sure where I got these. I've had them for a long time. We have our ear wires, the 2 eye pins, 1 1/2 inch eye pins. I put a couple of bead caps in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. And I have a couple of really tiny little seed beads. So I do think the seed beads are helpful, and you can pick those up easily at a store near you. You know, some little seed beads. These are silver. And I like to use these silicone earring backs. I don't talk about them a lot, but every time I sell a pair of earrings, I always include earring backs to keep the earring from falling off, if nothing else, right? You don't want that to happen. And I think we'll need a couple of jump rings. Not sure how many yet. I haven't actually made these yet. I've just played around a little bit. As I said in my opening, a lot of people when making charm earrings just connect the charm to the ear wire, and that's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. But I thought I'd play around a little bit here and see what else we can come up with. So I've got this eye pin. What I was thinking is putting one of the little glass donut beads on here. And then the nice bright yellow, because I think of sunflowers, you know, is yellow and the leaves are green. And this might look a little crazy, but I'm thinking about, oh wait, maybe I think I have 2 different sizes of these. I'm going to put the larger one on the bottom, then the yellow bead. And these are just vintage plastic beads, so we got glass and plastic. And then add a thinner little disc on top, or donut bead, whatever you want to call it. You know, it just brings in a little bit of color. Now I didn't use a seed bead here, but I could put one at the top to finish it off. I also could add a small 3mm round bead. That's an option too. In fact, maybe I'll do that. I do like to work with these. So I'm going to add that at the top. It kind of balances out the loop a little bit. So let's make the other one. I'm putting the larger of the disc on the bottom, the yellow bead, and then the glass disc, and the round silver plated bead. Bringing in the yellow and the green. And the next thing we could do, I have these bead caps, so I guess I could experiment again with those, or we could just go ahead and go right to the little sunflower. If we were to use the bead cap, maybe I should have tried that first. I pulled them out, so I should at least try it. I mean, that looks like a little face to me. I can try it on the bottom, and it's okay. It's another option, but I think I'm going to go ahead and set those aside because I kind of like the yellow and the green. I like what I've got going here. The fun part about making your own jewelry is just playing with your beads, have some fun with it. I like to upcycle jewelry, so these yellow beads, as I said, are vintage upcycled plastic beads. All right, let's go ahead and push the beads down like we would to make an earring. Okay, and I'm going to bend this wire, but we do need to trim it. It's way too long to make our loop, so I'm trimming it down to, sometimes I say 1/4 inch. Maybe it's really 3/8 of an inch. I always forget to say 3/8. A lot of times I say 1/4, but it's more like 3/8. I'm going to make that flush on the end and then close that up. Nice and tidy. We got a little loop. Let's do the same thing here. And I am trying to make my loop go the same direction as the eye and the eye pin. So I'm bending it in the direction so that will happen. And the wire is flush, and then I make my loop, and then I close it up. I'm going to use my needle nose pliers. We have a choice. We can either connect the eye pin or the bottom to the sunflower using a jump ring, or we can connect the loop that we just made to the bottom. I think I'm going to put the eye pin at the bottom and then just open up the top loop and attach our ear wire. You can use any kind of ear wire that you like. You could use a post, you could use a lever back, or you can use these French hook style. I tend to just like those. That's pretty much, I have all kinds on hand. And I have shown you in different videos all different types of ear wires, but this is what I'm going with for all the earrings today. The hook. Fish hook, French hook, whatever you want to call it. Has a couple of different names. All right, we need to attach, didn't use the seed beads, so I'm going to set those aside. We need to attach the charm to the bottom of the earring. I do have my flat nose and needle nose, but sometimes I get out my second pair of flat nose. Yes, sometimes I do that. Sometimes that's easier to open up a little jump ring. Put the jump ring through the charm and put it through the eye of the eye pin. And I did tell you I'm going to show you how to make eye pins if you need to. And let's just check this and see what direction it's hanging. It's actually backwards. I have it backwards on here. So that's an easy fix. I can open up the loop and just turn this around and close it up. That's better. One down, one to go. Let's open up the loop, and let's hope I get it the right direction this time. Oh no, I'm using a jump ring. What am I doing here? See? Getting ahead of myself. Let's attach the charm with a jump ring. And let's check it here. And it's hanging backwards. Oh, well, this is live TV. Didn't you know that's live TV? Yeah, sometimes we have to adjust. I need to grab my earring display. I'll be right back. Ooh, I'm out of breath. I had to go all the way downstairs, and then I couldn't find it, and, somebody moved it. That somebody would be me. Yes, I moved it, and I couldn't find it. but I did eventually find it, but I'm a little out of breath. Here they are. We've just got a pop of yellow, pop of green. They're whimsical with the little sunflowers. That's our pair number 1. I am going to ask you to vote at the end of the video on which pair or pairs you like the best. So this will be number 1. Are you ready to make pair number 2? But before we do that, let's go ahead and put our earring backs on here. I love these earring backs. If you do not wear earring backs and you've ever lost any earrings, well, it's because you didn't have earring backs on. So keep that in mind. It's very helpful to have a little silicone earring back, and I do have a link for those. Let's take a photo of this. Here's pair number 1, little sunflowers and a touch of green and yellow, and you could do the same idea with all kinds of colors. Are you ready for pair number 2? Keep in mind, I'm going to ask you at the end of the video to vote for your favorite pair or pairs. And how do you vote? Well, you just leave a comment for your favorite or favorites. Let's make pair number 2. Pair number 2, we have some, I forgot to show you how to make your own eye pins in case you don't have any. I'd like to take a head pin. This happens to be a 2-inch head pin. And you can either use your cutters on your round nose pliers, or you can use flush cutters, and you'll have to cut the head off. I'm going to do this over my trash can. Okay, there you go. And then just take your round nose pliers, and I have a little, do you see that little marker here? But I have a Sharpie marker on there, but you just make a loop. Okay, but you need to bend it back, and I push down at the wire at the same time, and you shape it into an eye pin. Now this eye pin is going to be slightly larger than the eye pin here. Can you see the difference? I hope you can see the difference. So it's just a little bit larger, and that's fine. A lot of times this is what I've been showing you in videos, is just how to make your own eye pin. But I dug out my eye pins today. I think some of you think I don't have any, but I actually make my own just to show you that you can make your own. Take a look at what we have in here. We have the 2 owl charms. I have 2 orange rondelles. We'll check the size in just a minute. We have our ear wires. I have a couple of options in here, to tell you the truth. I wasn't quite sure what direction I wanted to go. I pulled these out. I pulled some rings out. I don't know for sure. And I have 2 little brown, tiny little brown seed beads that I tried to make sure they were the same size. If you know about seed beads, the size can vary quite a bit. Before we start, I want to share with you, okay, these are 8mm rondelles. A rondelle means it's not quite round. It's, I don't know, it's just a flattened round. It's a rondelle. It's spelled R-O-N-D-E-L-L-E. It's not R-O-U-N-D. It's R-O-N-D-E-L-L-E, just in case you don't know. And these other things, I don't even know if I'm going to use them. Oh, that's about 15mm. I have some rings here, 9mm. You know, I said these were 5-minute earrings, but as you can see, I'm playing around and experimenting. Therefore, it might take me more than 5 minutes to show you. But when you pick out which ones you want to make, it's not going to take you but about 5 minutes. So I have a couple of ideas. I thought about putting something between the owl and the eye pin. Like maybe we could do something like this and connect everything. And maybe we can put these up here. I know it doesn't look like much right now. Or maybe we can use these jump rings here. These are closed rings. I shouldn't say jump rings, they're closed rings. I don't even know if I'm straight here in the camera. But I was trying to find a way to add some other interest. First of all, let me tell you why I have the orange beads and the brown. I was thinking about making something for fall, like a little pumpkin. I don't know if you can even see that because of how tiny the seed bead is, but with that little brown seed bead on top, to me, you may not be able to tell, but it looks like a little pumpkin. Or you could put green, and you could put a larger bead on top. I did try a larger bead. I tried a green one earlier when I was playing. Didn't like it too much, so I just came back to the brown. Although I am wondering now, what if I stacked 2 beads and made that just a little taller? It's okay, but I'm just going to go with one. I thought a pumpkin would look cute with the owl. Who's got fall and Halloween on their brain besides me? I did make a video the other day. My last video was, Halloween and fall themed. It was. So I'm there, even though I'm not ready for summer to be over. And it's been such a busy summer that I almost don't feel like I had a summer. How about you? Do you feel that you had a summer? Or did it go so fast? And did you get to go anywhere? We didn't really go anywhere. Maybe that's why it didn't really seem like summer. But my birthday's coming up and we're going to take some time, and I think we're going to head over to North Carolina. Hope you don't mind it if I chat while I work. It's lonely making jewelry. It's fun to chat with you. And you can chat with me by leaving your comments. Okay, I didn't get that very good, so I'm just adjusting a little bit. Don't be afraid to tweak it. So there's our little pumpkins. Now the question is, do I want to use this little ring in between the pumpkin and the owl? Or do I want to use this disc and connect everything? That disc could kind of be the moon. Or what if I put that at the top and a little pumpkin in between and then the owl? I mean, it's not blue. It's not a blue moon. It's not a white moon. You know what? We're just going to try it because the fun part about this is we can take it apart if we don't like it. So let's go ahead and take one of the small jump rings. And I'm going to attach this disc to the ear wire. That's what we're going to do first. And these discs that I have, they're just off a necklace that I thrifted. Some piece of jewelry that I thrifted, took apart. So what if we put the pumpkin in the middle? Of course, this all depends on whether you like short earrings or long earrings. I tend to think you can get away with longer earrings, even if you don't normally wear them. Get by with them when it's something whimsical like this. You're making some fun holiday jewelry. People kind of expect it to be a little over the top, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but whimsical, okay? Now, last week when I made jewelry, I was trying to not make it Halloween-y. I was trying to make it more just for the color. But for these earrings, for this particular pair of earrings, I'm making it a little whimsical. I'm going to show it to you here. And do I have this facing the right direction? Okay, this earring is going to face to the side. Can you see that? You probably can't see it. Based upon the ear wire, the way this is hanging, the owl's going to face to the side. So I need to make a left and a right. But basically, this is what it looks like. Do I like that disc up there? Maybe it's a little bit too big. Let's try a different way before we decide how to finish this. Let's go ahead and attach the pumpkin to the ear wire. Let's do that first. Where the other one I had to attach this disc with a jump ring. I think I need to file that. 1 second here. I ended up just putting my round nose pliers in here to open up that hole a little bit. We just do the very basic and attach the owl charm to the pumpkin. Let's take a look at these side by side. So here's the little owl just with the pumpkin. I could do a little better on my loop there. And here's the dangle. So you've got the option of the long or the short. Now that I see them side by side, I'm kind of liking this. It's different. Let me think about it for just a minute. There's one more thing we could try. That is the disc in the middle. So let's take this apart. I know I'm running past 5 minutes now on this one. But as I said, we're designing, and designing takes a little more time. Let's connect this pumpkin. Oh, it's upside down. Vicky, stop it. Let's go ahead and connect this pumpkin directly to the ear wire without a jump ring. Still think I could have done a better job on my loop here. I think I cut my wire a little bit too long. But when you have these seed beads at the top, you really got to work to make sure that's closed. Okay, what if we put the pumpkin at the top and then the disc? Probably need 2 jump rings then. We're going to take a look because now's the time to do it and then make a final decision. I like that this is two-sided. I'm going to connect the disc to the pumpkin like that. And then we're going to connect the owl to the disc. And we're going to make a decision here. Short earrings or long earrings? Well, I guess I'm making a decision, and you'll let me know at the end if you liked it or not when you vote. How's that? I know some of you try to talk to me through the camera. Sometimes I hear you, sometimes I don't. What's it going to be? The disc at the top, the disc in the middle, or no disc at all? Just leave that out of the equation. No one else is going to think it's a moon besides me. After all that, I'm going to leave it out. I'm just going to go with the pumpkin and the owl. But I hope you learned something along the way, even if that something is simply being open to playing until you like it. So I'll just play a little music here while I get these changed around to be what I want them to be, and then I'll show them to you.
I'm walking down the street on clouds instead of the concrete I'm dancing through. Everything's about to come my way. Nothing can ruin my day, no matter what anyone does or say. I smile at fools. No, I don't care, cause I am on my way up, and I won't stop, I won't slow down. Steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop, it is my time. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like when nothing goes your way. So I'm gonna let myself enjoy the fruit from this lucky day. Yeah, I am on my way up, I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way up, I won't slow down. I'm strolling down the street with all of my favorite songs on repeat. I'm dancing through. Everything's about to come my way, and I don't care if you spill coffee on me or if the sky is gray or blue.
After all that, I went back to just the pumpkin and then the owl. And as I said, you could put brown or green seed beads here. And I did add a small jump ring here. So that's pair number 2 after all that experimentation. Here's pair number 2, the cute little owl earrings. And you could use a larger rondelle for your pumpkin and a larger bead, maybe a 6/0 for your stem, because the stems are pretty small. But that's pair number 2. Let's move on to pair number 3. Pair number 3, what do we have here? I have some dragonflies. They're two-sided. And all of these charms are fairly small. I mean, the dragonflies are about 3/4 of an inch. And then I have my eye pins and my ear wires, and I have some really pretty beads. Let me put it on here to try to show it to you. These beads are ceramic. They're from a bracelet, I believe, that I took apart, and they have blue and teal, and they're just really pretty. I just don't know if they're showing up well enough for you. We've got 2 of those, and then I just pulled out some bicones, crystal bicones, and a couple of round rondelles. Let me show you each of these. They're an iridescent green. We have a bicone, and then we have a rondelle, and of course we have the earring backs. That's what we've got here to work with. I'm thinking that somehow I want to work these in. Let's start with the eye pin. What if we just put the beads on here, and we have the bicone at the bottom, and then the round ceramic bead and a rondelle at the top, or go the other direction. Sometimes try turning your beads upside down till you like them. I am kind of thinking about trying to put this beautiful bead right in the center of our dangle, and then maybe add some smaller beads at the top. I think we could have fun going a little bit longer with these. Now I might need some more eye pins, and let's make sure that this eye pin doesn't go through the hole. It doesn't, but it's close. So what would happen if I put a bicone at the bottom of this ceramic bead? Let's take a look at it in the bowl so it shows up better. We could put these 3 beads on the eye pin and then attach the dragonfly. Or we could just have the round ceramic bead kind of floating in the middle. I guess I'm just going to have to try and see if we like it It's the same thing as all of the earrings. You know, we're experimenting. And do I even need a seed bead? Well, seed bead's going to go right through there. And remember, if I make my own loop on the other end of this eye pin, I've got to be really careful to mimic the same size as the eye pin. But I'm going to try, it's going to be hard, bend this. I have it bent. I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller than I normally do. And then I'm going to use the smaller part of my round nose pliers to make my loop. I have never tried to make a tiny loop like this, so I don't know how it's going to go. I have a one-step looper, but I don't have the smallest one-step looper. Maybe I need to think about getting that. I want these to be flattened in the same direction. My loop is not the same. It's not. But let's proceed anyway. You can work from the top down or the bottom up, whichever you prefer. I'm going to start with the dragonfly, and I'm going to work with the loop that is from the original eye pin. And these beads aren't really directional. And then if I want to, we can connect right now. We could stop right there if we want to. Let's zoom in. We could stop right there. However, what if we use another eye pin and just add some crystals? Doesn't mean I need all of these. That would be really long. Maybe just one crystal. Maybe with a round bead at the bottom and the top of the bicone crystal, just to make it pop a little bit. Kind of liking that. I also could just try a seed bead at the bottom and the top. We have the bicone crystal and we have the round crystal, so we have a choice here. These seed beads are tiny. We could do that. I kind of like that too. Decisions. I think I'm going to go with this. I think I'm just going to do one little bicone bead. Push the beads down and bend this. Now, because I'm going to attach this to the ear wire, it doesn't have to be as small as the original eye pin. The loop doesn't have to be as small. Let's finish this out, see if we're going to like it. I am going to attach directly to the loop and the ear wire rather than add a jump ring this time. Jump ring adds a little more length to it. I can attach these with a jump ring or just attach them directly. I'm going to try attaching it directly, one loop to the other without a jump ring, and just see how it looks. Let's take a look. I like it, and I like it attached just directly to the loop of the eye pin and not having that extra jump ring. I have a jump ring here, which I think we kind of need to have a jump ring there. I think I'm going to go with this. I'm going to make another one just like it. If you're enjoying this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so. And keep watching. There's more. I'll play some music for you while I make this, and then we'll look at the pair together.
Or if the sky is gray or blue, no, I don't care, 'cause I am on my way up, and I won't stop, I won't slow down. Steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop, it is my time. 'Cause I know what it's like to be broke, yeah. I know what it's like when nothing goes your way. So I'm gonna let myself enjoy the fruit from this lucky day.
It's too long. If your head pin or eye pin turned out a little too long, you can back it off and cut off a little bit and try again. Didn't have it cut short enough.
Yeah, I am on my way up, I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way up, I won't slow down.
I like them. I like them a lot. Picked up the green and these bicones, these crystal bicones with the iridescent finish. They're long, but they're cute. Here's pair number 3, the dragonfly earrings. I really like the ceramic beads in the middle. When I make my videos, I'm playing. Just like you, I'm playing and I'm having fun. And part of the fun is trying different ways to make something. So when my 5-minute earrings take a little longer, well, it's just because I'm showing you a variety of ways. In other words, I let you into my head. Sorry about that. But I let you into my head as to what I'm thinking as I'm designing the earrings. And that's true for pretty much all my videos. I let you know what I'm thinking, even when I'm changing my mind. Let's move on to pair number 4. Time for pair number 4, and I have lots of things in my bowl. We have some really pretty butterflies, and I only had 2 of these butterflies in my stash. I don't know where I got them from. Maybe they were a mixed bag of butterflies, but I just have the 2. I have these little square beads, and the square beads, I don't know, what can we find out for size on those? I guess they're about a 9mm square, and the butterflies are pretty good size. They're about a 21mm butterfly. And these are really cool. These are purple, glittery, vintage beads, and I think you could call them jelly beads. They just look like jelly or jello. And then I pulled out some green beads and some spacer beads and some green rhinestone rondelles. The rhinestone rondelles, if we decide to use these, are 7mm. They didn't push through all the way. Then I have some little bicones. But all the beads are fairly small. These are about 6mm. But play around till you find what you like to work with. So back to the butterflies. I've got these little square, kind of almost puffy pillow-like beads. I have I'm going to call those little purple jelly beads with glitter. I have some assorted green beads that are a clear acrylic. And we've got our ear wires and our eye pins. I have a couple of these rings that I pulled out earlier that I haven't used yet. I have some daisy spacers. Again, not sure what I'm going to use. Oh, I have these little clear beads too. Some little clear bicones. And then I have the rhinestone rondelles. Goodness sakes, this bowl keeps going and going. I have a couple of seed beads, and I have earring backs, and I have a little 3mm chasing it around the bowl. Stop. Some little 3mm round silver plated beads, and for some reason I have an extra eye pin in here, which I might need. Maybe I took one from it and I need it. So that's what we've got in here. Lots of little pieces and parts. We know that the butterfly is going to be the dangle, going to be the charm. It's a matter of how we want to build the actual earring itself. Like some of the others we've done, we could have 3 tiers. We could have a small bead at the top, a larger bead in the middle, and then the butterfly. Obviously, this purple one is pretty cool. Closer look at it. I have a green rhinestone rondelle. This is where I could put a clear bead on top. This is a small bicone. I think it gets a little bit lost. I have these oblong green beads. I love purple and green together. If you follow the channel for any length of time, you know that I like those colors together. As we have daisy spacers, we could put a green bead on the bottom, daisy spacer, the purple bead, daisy spacer, and maybe one of these longer beads. That looks pretty together. And then we could go right to the butterfly. That's one idea. We could put this little decorative bead in the center or at the top, with beads. I think you see where I'm going now. We can either stack a bead and then just add the charm, or we can use 3 components, so we have more of a dangle between everything. And I have too much stuff pulled out. That's what I have. And I have this little ring. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? I wanted to add some interest, so that's why I pulled out these little puffy squares. I'm not sure if the rondelle is going to work in. I think I'm going to have to think about it for a minute, and I'll be right back. I played around here, and I have the puffy little square on the bottom, and then I have the rhinestone rondelle and the purple jelly sparkle bead on top. And as I said earlier, try it this way and then try it this way. Turn it either direction. I think I like it this way. So that's a possibility. I think I like it better than this one. And do we work anything in the middle? That's the question. Because I do like this, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to put a little seed bead here. In fact, I could put a little seed bead at the top and the bottom. You know what? That seed bead's going to fall right into that hole, I'm sure. Almost sure. I guess it's not. Surprise, surprise. The seed bead's not falling into the hole. is it going to fall into the hole down here? That's what you don't want to happen, is you make your earring and then the seed bead disappears. You're like, I'm sure I put a seed bead on that, only to find out that you did, but it fell in the hole of the bead. How do I know that? Well, it's happened like recently. Yep, it happens. Okay, let's make our loop. Wires flush. Close it up. That's what I'm looking at. We could put it this direction. Well, that's not straight at all. So that means I need to pull back on it and then close it up again. So we can go this direction, or we can go this direction. That definitely is pretty with the purple and the green. I like it. I don't think I'm going to change that, so I'm going to go ahead and make a second one. And I guess I put the really fine loop at the top when I really wanted the fine loop at the bottom. I need to make it the same, so I'm going to put the purple one. Oh, seed bead, seed bead.
Yeah, I know what it's like to be broken, and I know what it's like when nothing goes your way. So I'm just gonna let myself enjoy the fruit from this lucky day. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down, 'cause I am on my way up.
Question comes down to, are we going to put something in between? I didn't use these green beads, even though I have the green rhinestones in there. Do we want a little ring between, or do we want a green bead between of some kind? Or do we just want more than one bead in between? I don't think so. We just want to go right to the charm. I think I'm just going to go right to the charm on these. Some reason I think these go very modern, contemporary with it, and the beads might just disappear. I don't want to get too long with these. You know what? Decision made. I'm just going to attach this. You might do something completely different. Oh, maybe I want to use a jump ring here. Yeah, for that charm, I'm going to use a couple of small jump rings to attach the top part of the earring to the charm. I don't know if these are going to hang sideways. These are directional. I don't know if they're going to hang sideways or front facing. We'll find out. It's always nice when you can get charms that are two-sided. If you can, that's great, but a lot of them aren't. You know, they just aren't that way. It's cheaper for the manufacturer to just make them one-sided. But that's okay. You can just make them side-facing, and I'm sure it will be fine. I'm going to move all this out of the way, and then we'll attach the ear wires. I'm going to try attaching directly to the ear wire without having an extra jump ring. I'm just opening this up sideways. I don't know if I've actually said that in this video, but that is what I'm doing. I'm opening up. I had to pull the little bead back a little bit.
I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way.
No. I know you saw that. You saw it before I did. Do you see what's wrong with these? Isn't that purple supposed to be at the bottom? Or do I like it better at the top? I want it at the bottom. My friends, you just got to understand that when I'm making jewelry, there is so much going on in my head because I'm making it, I'm talking, I'm videoing. I've got things going on around me and distractions. And although I try to eliminate all the distractions that I can, that is not always possible because there's some traffic on the road and sometimes my phone buzzes in. You know, Mark is out running errands and I catch a little buzz here or there. But I do my best. But you know, and I most certainly know, I am far from perfect. And I make mistakes and I try to catch them and fix them. And I'm pretty certain that if you're new at making jewelry, or even if you're seasoned at making jewelry like I am, mistakes are going to happen. Don't let it get to you. Just keep rolling with it. I like these. Look at that. Aren't those cool? We've got the little puffy square at the top and the green rhinestone rondelle and the jelly bead with glitter. Vintage, love it. And of course I am partial to purple and green. I love these butterflies, and of course I am partial to purple and green. Do you know why I'm partial to purple and green? Some of you know. If you've watched my earlier videos, leave a comment and let me know if you remember why I like these colors. So, you know, tried a few different ways. As I showed you, turn the earring upside down sometimes, you know, the beaded part. I tried it looking at it different ways until I came up with what I like the best. Okay, let's move on to pair number 5. And we just have one more pair to make, and we're going to make something with these little kitty cat charms. Pretty in pink. Who doesn't love kitty cats and who doesn't love pink? I don't know if you don't love kitty cats or pink. I don't know. Now, we may not have a cat, but I still like cats. And we like dogs. We just don't have a pet because our lifestyle isn't conducive to it right now. Okay, we have 2 kitty cat charms. We have our 2 eye pins. I'll just put them down there. I have these vintage, yes, vintage pink crystals from a necklace. The funny thing is, they're plastic. They're plastic, but they sure look like crystals. I also couldn't resist pulling out some pink cat's eyes. Kind of seems appropriate to try to work in some cat's eyes. Don't know if we will, but I've got 2 sizes here. We have some pink rhinestone rondelles. And about the rondelles, I have 2 different links below my video, but one of them is for this case. It has the teal, blue, red, pink, green, blue, black. I used some black the other day for some Halloween earrings. Really nice kit of rhinestone rondelles. I have 2 links, so make sure you look for the one that's multicolor. And you find the links by being on your iPhone or a desktop or iPad or something, because you can't find the links on YouTube. You have to be on a different device. We know the cats are going to dangle because they're the charm. We just have to decide. What else do I have in here? I forgot. Tiny little crystals. I did say I'd tell you what size. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I believe these are 8mm, the larger cat's eye, and then we have 6mm. These are kind of a cube shape, but so I guess 9mm. And the rondelles were 8mm, 8mm rondelles. And these tiny bicones, crystal bicones, are 4mm. Just to give you an idea. You know, work with what you have. That's the best thing to do. And then if you find some necklaces or jewelry that you can take apart and upcycle, that's always so much fun. That's what we do a lot of here, upcycle jewelry. And that's what these vintage beads are from. So let's say I put this pink plastic vintage cube on the bottom and then the pink rhinestone. What are these doing in here? Let's get those out of here. And then the pink rhinestone rondelle. I don't know if this cat's eye is too large. It works. Let's try the smaller one. Too small. We put the larger one on here. And then the charm. Chasing the charm around. That's kind of what we're looking at. And that's cute. Question is, do we want to put any bead in between? Let's take another eye pin and put a tiny little clear crystal on it. Shows up better against the dark. And then that smallest 6mm cat's eye, then another little crystal. That's what it looks like. Could we put that in between, or is it just too much? I think it's too much. It looks like we've got 2 earrings going on, 2 stacked earrings. So that's not going to work. But what happens, since we're playing, if we put the little crystal on the bottom, and then the pink cube, the rhinestone rondelle, the 8mm cat's eye, do we need to go that long with it? Do we? I think the crystal disappears. I don't think that's doing anything for it. Do we want to put this cube in the center and do something else up above? I really can't just put the rhinestone rondelle on the eye pin. That doesn't work that way. By the way, these cats do face the same direction. That's what happens sometimes with some of the charms. They are directional, so whether you wear them on the left or the right, they face the same direction. Not much I can do about that, but I'm still going to make these. So if we did just the pink cat's eye, that's what this would look like. I don't know if it's showing up better against the black. That would be cute, but I really do like this cube, this vintage cube. So what if we put that and skip the cat's eye and we just do that? Ooh, I'm kind of liking that. Let's take a look at how I had the other one. I had the cube, the rhinestone rondelle, and the large cat's eye. I don't even have the rhinestone rondelle over there on that one, but I like both of these. Now it's going to be a hard choice. See, the time in making earrings isn't making the earrings. It's deciding how to make them. That's where the time comes in. What is that Price is Right tune? What is that song? Can somebody hum it for me, please? Because I'm not very good at it. Goodness, I really like this. I'm very surprised by that. I don't know if I can work in the rhinestone rondelle here. I'm going to try something just because we can. I put a rhinestone rondelle at the top and the bottom of the cube, but I have to say that the rhinestone rondelles are not laying right against the cube. That's not going to work. It's too bad because that would be nice. What if I put the rhinestone rondelle around the round cat's eye bead? Oh, those little crystals get completely lost in there. They just fell inside. No, I mean, I could get larger crystals, bicones. Those are bicones, those are rondelles. I could get larger bicones, but oh, I just wanted to work in the cat's eye because I thought it was funny, to use a cat's eye bead with a cat. But nobody probably but me and you would know that that's a cat's eye bead. I'm not sure how many people know. What if I have some spacer beads over here, daisy spacers that I didn't use. Now that is looking pretty. I thought I was going to use the cat's eye, but I think this is going to be another one where we just finish this off like I have it here. I just need to finish the top of this, and I might just finish it with one of my round beads. I think I will do that. Make the earring, push the beads down. I'm going to try to make my loop, go the same direction. So I make that decision when I bend it. Wires flush, make my loop, close my loop, check my loop. I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way. I won't slow down. Attach the ear wire. Do you see how often I use these chain nose pliers? All the time. So if you only have the flat nose, you could call them needle nose, but chain nose is I think how they're listed. If you only have the flatter ones, I highly recommend having the needle nose too. Where am I here? Oh, okay. I've got the original eye pin at the bottom of the earrings. Let's get a couple of jump rings and attach the kitty cat charm. I believe what triggered this idea for the video this time is someone asked me about making a charm bracelet. And I sent her a link of a Valentine charm bracelet that I made, a while back. And when I was coming up with an idea for this video, I thought, well, gee, I don't think I've ever made charm earrings. Not to this degree anyway. I might have used some charms, but I know all of these earrings that I'm showing you today, I've never shown before. Of course, that's always the goal, is to show you something I haven't shown you before, but you know what I mean. Their inquiry about a charm bracelet triggered the video, so thank you for that. I love it when you leave comments. I read everything, and I give you a heart and a thumbs up to let you know I read your comment, and if you have a direct question, I do my best to answer it. I love these. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Pink kitty cats. Who doesn't love pink and kitty cats? They're long, too long for a child, I would say, but perfectly fine for the rest of us. But yeah, cute little pink beads, vintage beads, and the kitty cats. And as I had pointed out, the beads are directional. Don't go anywhere because I'm going to recap all 5 pairs of earrings that we made today so you can see them close up in order to vote for your favorite or favorites. Keep watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you give these ideas a try. Find out if you can make some charming earrings, bead and charm earrings. And be sure to check my links below the video for those earring backs that I talked about and for my tools. And you'll find the earrings listed in our eBay store, Avante Avenue. There's a link below the video, so check that out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Vicki, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe.